Hi Libra, welcome to your June 2018 Astro Update. It's Rena here. So Libra, in the month of June, I would say the main focus is on your ninth house, which deals with expansive issues such as the higher mind, university level teaching and learning, your philosophical framework, God, it doesn't get any more expansive than that, as well as foreign travel, and the 10th house of career. So let's look at this and see if we can draw any connections, because I feel like sometimes these transits, how they happen to occur, really point to the issues that are going on in our life when we can or connect the dots, I should say. I was going to say tie up the dots. So the month begins with the sun in Gemini, and this is your ninth house. And the sun in the ninth house can indicate that you are being like a Sagittarian in many ways, Libra, where you're seeing the bigger picture of your life. And seeing the bigger picture of your life can really involve just about anything. Some of you may be wanting to go back to school. Actually, Mercury is also going to be in that sector until the 12th of the month. So Mercury has the wheels turning in your head about what it is that you want to do with your intellectual goals. Some of you are college material, and I'm talking about teaching. I mean, learning, a lot of people are, but definitely you have the right stuff when it comes to teaching because you're an air sign. And so you naturally want to communicate, you want to disseminate information. And so you may be somehow dealing with this. Contracts can be associated with Mercury. So if you are going to college for the first time, or maybe you're going back to college, that could be featured for you. And also anything to relate to your spiritual beliefs. It's something that I'm always careful to kind of like differentiate the different houses, because in my own belief about this, the three most spiritual houses are the 8th, 9th, and 12th houses. And the 9th house, to me, is more of the traditional organized religions and the dogma that goes along with those religions, which is the dogma is actually the set of beliefs. I saw this bumper sticker. You might have seen that too. It said, my dogma ran over your karma or my karma or something like that. And I think it might be like an atheist bumper sticker or something, but I guess they were having a little bit of fun with these concepts. But yeah, and when I say dogma, I don't mean it in a negative way, a disparaging way. I'm just saying that every organized religion has a set of beliefs, a set of do's and don'ts and things like that, and the tenets of the belief, of the religion. And so, the 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces, to me is much more open-ended and can actually deal with other planes of existence rather than this world, which I think with the 9th house, ruled by Sagittarius in the universal chart, it's more of a philosophical influence, and that involves religion, of course. Now, you may be even making preparations for some kind of a travel arrangements, maybe. And for some of you, this may connect to work matters because Mercury goes into the 10th on the 12th. So for some of you, you may be getting your passport ready and all that stuff so that you can go overseas or someplace far from where you live. Well, I think it has to be foreign. And you're going to be working there. It'll be your profession, because when Mercury goes into your 10th house, then it's dealing with career matters. And you actually have a new moon in this sector on the 13th in the 9th house. So that could be new developments, new doors opening when it comes to the issues that I mentioned with the ninth house. Venus begins the month in your 10th house of career. And that is a great place for Venus to be because Venus is the attractor. So it just gives you that good juju for anything related to career where people want to help you. Venus is connected to money as well as popularity. So if you combine the two, you may come across as very charming and people will open their wallets or they will, whatever, it depends on the individual. But then as I was saying this, I was thinking, duh, you're ruled by Venus. So you're already like this, Libra. You can charm the pants off of anyone. I don't like to say that these days because that sounds like sexual harassment or something. Forget it. That was a crazy thing to say. But it's just really nice, let's put it that way. And that really can help you in terms of career advancement, career enhancement, if you're looking to get a raise and or a promotion. Hopefully, if you get a promotion, you also get a raise. It's not just like a glorified title. And so that's really good for you. And then on the 13th, which is the same day as that new moon in the ninth house, Venus goes into the 11th house. So it's possible that something related to location has been on your, like either a dream vacation or maybe just a place to live that you've always wanted to live, Libra, is coming into your focus, your ability to manifest, because the 11th house is the house of hopes and wishes. And apparently it's also called the luckiest house. So that's very exciting for you to have Venus there because it can indicate that things are really just happening for you, going well. And you're able to make things happen as a result of this transit that you are with Venus in the 11th house, whether it's attracting money to make your dreams come true, or this could also involve falling in love with somebody who happens to be connected to your social circle, because the 11th house can be the friends that you have and the groups that you belong to. So that would be wonderful because you may have also a lot of networking opportunities if this is important for your business, because Venus in the 11th house allows you to schmooze really well. As I said, the new moon is also going to be happening in your 9th house on the 13th. And then on the 18th, Neptune goes retrograde in your 6th house of health. Now, Neptune transiting your 6th house of health can bring strange conditions that are undiagnosable. At least initially, you may feel a certain malaise, but you don't know what it is. And actually, I've been reading a lot of people, if you know anything about ascension symptoms and things like that, whether it's in our environment or it's more energetic, who knows, but you may, and obviously this is not going to apply to everyone, but for those that it does, on the 18th and beyond during the retrograde cycle, you may realize something about health. Maybe you've been in denial about your health and you have to really face it head on. And also the 6th house is your daily schedule. Lately, within the last however long Neptune has been transiting in that house, I think it was like around 2012 or 2011. I can't remember. But you may have had some kind of fog that has periodically seemed to come over you in regards to your workplace. And this, when I say periodically, it would be most of the time, because when Neptune is retrograding, it lets you know more of what's happening and like pulls back the curtain and lets you see things as they really are. And so the other time you may be kind of in this dazed and confused state, or just maybe even somebody else doing it to you, where they are telling you what you want to hear in the workplace. And so perhaps it connects with these career developments. Maybe you have been given the runaround, and you're going to see exactly how fake somebody has been to you. Now, it could even be with coworkers. The 6th house can deal with them. So some kind of like dose of realism coming to you in that time frame that deals with getting more real about your health, about your workplace situation, even about your daily routine. If you have decided to work for yourself, you may have been frittering away your time in some way. Maybe you haven't been as effective as you could be. And I think for some Librans, they work better as part of a group than by themselves. You may feel like you like to bounce ideas off of other people. You're just naturally sociable. And so if you decided to work for yourself, you might have felt kind of lost and like you can't really, you don't feel as productive as you were before, and that bothers you. And this may be something that's been going on for several years now. I'm not saying that this just happened. And so then on the 21st, the sun goes into Cancer, and that's the solstice day, whether, it's summer in the northern hemisphere and winter in the southern hemisphere. 10th house of career. So that can give you that sense of having a career mentality, or it's more than that. Might be Mercury. Well, Mercury will be in that house too. More of a stature or demeanor with the sun in the 10th house. It could point to success at this time with career matters. On the 26th, this is important because Mars goes retrograde in Aquarius. And Aquarius is a fellow air sign. It's your 5th house of romance, the business that you own, as well as creative projects. So going back to that premise about working for yourself, this would be the actual house for that creative, thing that you created by yourself, and how that plays into your efforts, because Mars is about your drive, is about your ambition to accomplish things. It's what motivates you. And when it's retrograding, it's going to lessen that motivation. So it can almost be like an internalized type of inquiry involving that house. So you may question, what is the work that I am doing, if this is a business that you own, am I getting the proper advancement from all of this work that I'm pouring into it? So you might be questioning how much effort you put in and how much you get from it. And also, it could have to do with going over something. Perhaps you need to improve something that you're doing in order to improve your business. And so however that plays out for you, that could be happening as well. But if we look at it also in terms of it being a house of creativity, you may be, let's say you wrote a book, you might be kind of re-editing it. You may have edited it and then put it out, and now you're going to go back and edit it again, or add material. Who knows? Or a painting that you had. You might say, I need to add something to this painting. I need to kind of tweak something that I'm doing in order to be successful at it. But the planet Mars is also about desire. And in the 5th house, which can deal with that falling in love stage, you may be, kind of revisiting a love affair. And you might think that the second time's the charm. We will see, because Mars does dip back into your 4th house of home and family later on in Capricorn, and goes direct on August 27th. So there's a 2-month window here where you have Mars going backwards through your 5th house and then through your 4th house. So if, let's say, this is something to do with an extramarital affair, I think it would be more likely, rather than that it has to do with perhaps someone from the past, long time ago, like even in your teenage days. It could go back that far, because that would be the family of origin back in your childhood or adolescence. And then on the 29th, we have a full moon in Capricorn. And it's so funny. I just realized that I'm probably going to have to take down all my other videos, because I left up from last month, or I put it up by accident, because I'm in May when I'm recording this, and I said Sagittarius, so those are all wrong. But it's actually in Capricorn. And Capricorn is your 4th house of home and family. And so, and I just said that, we're talking about Mars. So the full moon is at 6 degrees of Capricorn. And in this house of home and family, Libra, you're going to be seeing, maybe having some revelations about the past. And yes, of course, you always will have a full moon in Capricorn every year. It's not, unique to this year. But every year is a chance to learn new things, have new revelations. And even with myself, I think about how long I've lived on this earth, and, how many things that I think I know it all. And then I say, wow, I connect those dots, and it's like, that's amazing. So this is how I am the way that I am, at least a piece of it. So you may be having kind of like this sense of the past really informing you at this time and making you aware of how life has, how you've ended up at this point. Because, actually, when Mercury is in Cancer, that is the ruler of the 4th house. So even having Mercury in Cancer can also give you a sense of thinking about the past, thinking about your mother, and the mother could be featured here. There's some kind of like wrapping things up, an ending of a chapter. You could be selling your home in some cases, and things like that. But there's it's putting behind you a certain thing that has to do with the home and the family. And sometimes it could be this current family, if you have one, or the past. Okay, Libra, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you would like a private reading, please click on the link below this video. Take care. Bye.